Welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. I am so excited. It's Wednesday night, so it's time for What's Up Wednesday with the Inquisitive Farm Wife. And whether you are here on YouTube or Rumble, maybe you're watching the replay, or you're listening to us on the podcast, we're just so excited that all of you are here tonight. And I'm so excited about my guest, Penny from Open Hand Farm on YouTube. Welcome to the live chat, Penny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited when she said that she was going to be able to come on because I've actually been watching her channel off and on for a while now. I randomly won a gift card from her and we made contact. We have given phone numbers and we've gotten to chat once or twice in that time, and we hope to someday actually meet in person, because if you guys don't know, Penny also is in, are you actually in Kansas side, or are you in
I'm
the
on
Missouri
the
side?
I'm on the Missouri side.
Okay. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're close enough that we could
Yes.
actually make it happen maybe someday.
Yes. That would be great.
Yes. So that would be something very much that we can look forward to. But until that time happens, we're going to have a little chitty chat tonight. So I'm super excited about that. Let's say a quick hi to everybody here in the chat. I don't know if Wendy made it in or not, but we've got Carrie in here. We've got Xander. We've got Jamie and Joey, Canadian Family Life, Tiffany with Mud and Mascara, Nanny Tam. Thanks, guys, all for being here. Hello, hello. Benny, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself. Oh, Tiffany came in. Sorry. Got to say, or not Tiffany, Ginger. Got to say quick hi to Ginger. She's coming over, love rating us from Derek Fowler. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He has started
Oh.
doing a live. I don't know if it's going to be a regular thing or not, but he does it right before mine. So
Oh,
I'm getting
fun.
a nice love raid from over there. Um,
Nice.
I like to let everyone introduce themselves, because you know more about you than I do. So take the wheel.
Okay. Well, I am an urban homesteader. We used to live on 60 acres. And because of having parents that needed caring for, and my husband's job was 75 minutes from home,
Oh,
and whatever, we decided to move back to the city and just moved to a normal house. And I thought I was going to go insane. And one day God brought us to our acre and a half in the middle of the city, and we live in a 114-year-old barn that has been renovated into a house. It was a dairy barn,
I think that's so
and
cool.
we love it. Like, I teased the guy that renovated it. I said, "Yeah, God knew I was going to be living here because everything you did was for me."
So you're very
So,
happy there, it sounds like.
yes, very happy. But anyway, we have big gardens. Of course, not as big as you guys have, but you got
Oh,
big gardens.
well,
We
not
have
me, but others.
backyard gardens. um, so we have rabbits and chickens, and I've been doing YouTube for about a year and a half. And just, I have 4 kids. And my father passed away in October, and my mother moved in with us in December. And then the middle of June, my son and his wife and their 4 year old and almost 2 year old moved in with us. And then July 1st, they had their third baby girl. So I also have my middle daughter. In the very back of our barn, there was like a big storage area. And during COVID, my daughter was like, "Hey, wouldn't you like to turn that into an apartment for me?" So that was our COVID project. So I also have my middle daughter living behind us. And of course, since the grandkids are living here, she's in here a lot. So there's 9 of us now that live in the barn. So We've
I
gone from the
didn't
2
realize.
of us to 9 of us.
Wow, big changes, big
Yes.
changes, and in a pretty short amount of time
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So, wow. He behind the scenes, guys, we were talking about how our days didn't, go like when we first woke up and we thought how our days might go. It's not how our days work
Never.
out to be. And it sounds like it's kind of been a whirlwind of that for you for a while,
Yes.
but you seem
Yes.
to adapt well and kind of go with the
That's all
flow.
you can do.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Alexander can he can sympathize with you because he has a huge house full of people too. I don't know if she's only done a few lives, and so he does mostly
Right.
lives,
I
comes
am
in.
familiar with I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
know his real
His
name, but
name.
I am
Okay.
familiar with the channel name. So hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And actually he recently decided to open up a channel and he has a few videos out too. So,
Nice. I'll have to look that
yes.
up.
I'm going to go ahead and address the bottom of the screen here real quick so I can take that off. I always ask when people first come in, don't forget that thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm. It lets everybody know that, we're here and we want to visit and have a good time. And if you have a second, it helps to share it out like on your community tabs and things like that too. And I don't see anyone right now, but if you are coming from Penny's channel and you can't see the entire conversation, then you'll have to switch over to my channel to see that. But usually I try to pop up stuff so that we can all kind of keep in the know-how there. So I'm going to take that off because that gets just a little bit annoying. Now I'm going to try something. This may be a little too much. Yep, it is. I always try it depending on the guest, who I've
Yes.
got, but yeah, it's always just too in your face to have that. So anyway, I see that I got the notification that we're live on Rumble. I could check out and make sure we're on yours. I forgot to
I
do
just
that.
glanced and it does say live.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yeah.
I always hate to do it because if I forget to shut it off, then we get that echo again. So, well, you addressed a lot of the questions that I would ask you,
Oh.
which is great. So that leaves us lots of time for other things. He went
Oh
from
my
5
goodness,
to
Xander.
33.
Oh
So,
my word.
yeah, that is wild. And you know what? Ginger's right. Let's put those people to work. Hopefully they help you out a little bit
Right, right.
and pitch in and at least clean up after themselves.
Oh, yes. Actually, we weren't sure how to do meals because our schedules aren't all the same. Like Wednesday night, my husband goes to church at 6, so I have to get him fed and whatever. And my son doesn't get home till 5:30, 40, something like that. So what we've decided is we have 2 nights a week that are family dinner nights.
Oh, nice.
So I cook one, and that is Monday night, and then Kaylee cooks the other one on Thursday night. So that means on Thursday night, I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean up. I don't have to do anything. And that is like, I know it's only one night a week, but it's glorious.
No, I
I'm
think
like,
that's a great idea.
yeah, I was like, I don't even care what you're cooking. I don't have to cook.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
mom comes in, which she doesn't always eat dinner. Sometimes she's just not hungry. I mean, when you're in your 80s, you don't feel
Yeah.
like eating. So she'll have a bowl of cereal or something. But she comes in, I'm like, now it's not mandatory, but let's try to be a family at least 2 nights
At least
a week.
one.
So
Yeah.
she comes in and we just sit and watch the 2-year-old and he entertains everyone. So,
Oh, that's wonderful.
so we
I'm
get
sure
dinner
great-grandma's
entertainment
enjoying it.
and a cooked dinner. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gone on some like big, like we're my extended family, like cousins and stuff, where we will go on vacations together.
Yes.
And there's enough families that a lot of times each of us is responsible one time.
Oh, I
And
love
it's
it.
great. So like I
Yes.
will plan one evening meal. Like we do breakfast on our own
Right.
and lunches,
Right.
we kind of depending on the schedule of what all
Yes,
our week camping? Are we traveling? But
Yes.
it's really nice because then you can relax the rest of the time and you have that one night. Now sounds like for you, you just get one night where you relax, but
Yes.
I bet you at least enjoy that.
Hey, I am thankful for one night.
Yes, yes. I want to say a quick hello to Alfonso. I haven't seen him in the chat in a while, so it's certainly good to see him. He's in the next state over on my other side.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I always ask people, like, why did you start YouTube?
Well, that's a good question.
And you don't have to answer any questions I give you. You can
No,
always
it's
pass.
fine. So I've always been a behind the scenes person. Like, we would have these big pageants at Christmas or Easter or whatever at our church, and I never participated. I'm like, no, I don't do that. My whole family was involved in it, and I would just stay home. I was like, no, I don't do that stuff. And I just felt like I was being called to do it. And so I would just kind of play around with some videos. I'm like, no, this is stupid. I can't do this. And so then I mentioned it to my husband. My daughter overheard. She goes, Mom, you should so do this. And it was during COVID that we started talking about it because I love teaching. And I was
You
teaching
could
women's
see that
Bible
in your videos.
studies and stuff like that. And I couldn't, so I'm like, I have nobody to teach. And I just really missed it.
Oh.
And so they were like, oh, you should so do this. I'm like, I don't know enough. I can't. And so they finally talked me into it. So the very first video, because I am so not a computer, camera, all that kind of stuff person. Like, it has been learning by pulling teeth, let me tell you. And so anyway, the first video, my husband was recording it and it's going smoothly. And I'm like, okay, turn the camera off. And he goes, why? I said, just turn the camera off. And I just cried. I said, I am so nervous and so scared doing this.
Oh.
And now I'm going to cry. Terrible. Like, I was petrified. But now it's no problem.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, but I knew that I felt like God was calling me to do it, but I didn't put any of these videos up yet. I did them and just held on to them because I was like, I don't know. Well, then Justin Rhodes had the call for people to host people to come into their homes
yes,
to watch the, Great American Show.
Yes.
And so I'm like, Mark, should we do that? Which I have to back up one hair. When we moved into this house that we live in, it was given to us by God. And we felt like he wanted us to do something with it. So community was our calling. So I said, do you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I said, well, we're supposed to, it's during COVID. Do we have to follow the 6-foot rule? Do we have to wear a mask? And Justin was like, you do whatever you feel comfortable doing. I'm like, okay. So we just said, okay, if we're in this certain room area of our house, we could have this many people if we're 6 feet apart. So let's start there. So we decided we could have 12 people. And we ended up getting like 20. And I'm like, what are we going to do? I mean, we need to ask these people how they feel about this. So I just sent out an email saying, this is the information I have. Do you want to care about COVID? Do you want to just let people keep coming? What do you want to do? And they were like, let them come. Who cares? I'm like, okay. So we had 54.
Wow. Wow, chills.
And so that day, it was just like God laid on my heart, this is the day. This is when you start your channel. So that's the very first video that I put up, was the day that we had the community here from the Justin Rhodes group. So it was really cool. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So anyway, awesome. Now we continue to do community. He called me to just have like a ladies' coffee group. I was like, but who's going to come? I don't even know who to invite. And so I started inviting strangers off of Facebook, people I've never talked to, didn't know who they were, but there used to be like two little houses overlapping with speech bubbles, and it's not there anymore, but it was in your neighborhood. I don't know if you're familiar with the Nextdoor app, but it's like it was people on Facebook, but it showed people in your neighborhood. So I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. What's this? The very day I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just go on Facebook and start inviting people? And I opened my phone and there's this little thing that I had never seen before. And I was like, what's that? So I click on it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I have to invite strangers off of Facebook?
Oh my.
So I'm like, how do I know who? So people just would like make comments like, I just moved to the neighborhood. I don't know anybody. Or I've been going through a really hard time. I'd really like to, anybody want to get together? Things like that. So I'm like, okay, they're invited. Okay, they're invited. They're invited.
Wow.
So now I have
community
anywhere
together.
from 12 to 22 women every Thursday for coffee. And total, probably the total number of women involved in the coffee, because they don't all come every week.
Sure.
We probably have about 60 women that come. And over the year and a half that I've been doing it, there's been like 5 Thursdays that we did not have a new person. There's always somebody new. So then women were like, well, what about, my husband wants to do something. I was like, oh, that's fine. You find something for him to do. and then God was like, well, you could do a dinner once a month. I was like, I'm doing coffee every Thursday.
Yeah.
And my husband is not like me. Like, he is not a people person. I mean, he is now. God has changed him over the last year and a half. But he was like, can I be in the room? Like, can I leave the room and go to our room? I was like, no, you have to stay in there with me. So we just started inviting people. And same thing. Some of them knew on Facebook that I would invite. And so the first Monday of every month, we have a community dinner. And we have about 36 people each time. And like I said, it's different people. We have a few that are regulars every time, but they'll just be different. Like last month, and I always, this is my prayer every time. Okay, God, you know how many chairs I have and you know how much food I'm cooking, because they don't RSVP. I invite and I say RSVP by this date, and they don't RSVP. So they just start coming in, and I'm like, okay, there's 8. Okay, there's 12. Okay, there's 16. Okay, there's 25. Okay, there's God. Remember, this is how many chairs I have. Well, last month we had 11 people that had never been here and 4 people that I had never met before in my life. So it was just crazy. But these women at the coffee group have just been like, some of them were so broken and so lonely, and they are just all friends now. They go to movies together, they go shopping together, they go to coffee together. It's like they are a community. And so cool. It's just beautiful to watch. And honestly, that's all I do. I open the door, I make coffee, I make a little snack, and I stand in the kitchen and just watch it happen. And I am not even, some people feel sorry for me for this, but they go places and they never invite me. I'm never
invited. Oh my. That's so weird. That's something.
I'm every once in a while I'll think, well, maybe I would have wanted to do that. Why did you invite me? Yeah. But then I think, could I really maintain friendships with 60 women on that level? No,
that's true.
I couldn't. So God has called me to open my door. He's called them to be a community.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's takes up a lot of my life. That's this morning. I had 3 women that needed to talk to me, to have me help them do something or whatever in that community. And it just took my whole morning. So anyway, that
You're an
keeps me
amazing
really
woman.
busy. But they
Oh,
have blessed me also in so many ways. And
yeah.
if I ever need anything, I know that they're there for me. And they love my family like I do. We are family. I used to call it community dinner. Now it's called family dinner because that's what it
Oh,
is. So anyway, that's my heart.
and Dark Lord Minute had said, not all leaders are meant to follow. But before that, he had said something about extended family, and he said it before you did. So it's just your extended family. So that's so great.
Yes.
I want to take a second before we get into another deep conversation because wow, that just got real deep.
I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're so open with this and everything. I did not know. I remember a little bit about the coffee being mentioned. I watched the video on the Justin Rhodes thing,
Uh-huh.
and I think you may have mentioned the coffee thing either on that video or a different
Right.
video or something.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And
I want
some
to
of the
take a
ladies that have been on videos with me are some of my coffee ladies.
oh,
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
I want to say thank you to Joey. He's one of the mods, and he is
Oh,
so good about putting everyone's links up as they come in. Joey, thank you so
nice.
much for doing that. That is super sweet. I appreciate you doing that. And I know he put your link up there out there too, but just in case anyone comes in and it's it lost in chat, I do have the link to your channel pinned at the top. So I hope everyone takes a minute and will go in and like her channel and get to know her a little bit more even after tonight because she's got some great stuff and we're going to talk about her content later. We'll get there because I do want to have some questions about some of her more recent content. We'll get into the pantyhose and all that in just a little bit.
Oh,
But I have missed a few comments. I want to make sure.
sure.
Looks like Derek has met his 100 followers. Congratulations.
Good job.
And we've had a few more people slip in. Richmond's Place Homestead, welcome. Oh, Jenny Wolf just came over from your channel. Welcome. And if I've missed anyone else, I think I said hi or waved at Derek when he came in. Jamie's Country Living, I think I said hello to you. Oh, Tony Shepard, I missed that one. Sneaky
Hi,
sneaker.
Tony.
So hopefully I got a quick hello to everyone, and if I missed you, I'm sorry. So that is so cool. We found out the why to your starting your channel, and I have to say, of all the guests that I've had, that has not been a response I've had before. So that's really cool that watching Justin kind of inspired you to open your home, and then that was the go moment for you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
because I do think some of us do think about it for a while and we
Right.
think,
Right.
no, I don't know. But that go moment, that's really cool. So how did you get the name to your channel?
Well, like I said, we knew when we moved here that it would be used for something. And my husband gave me a book before we moved in here. Like I said, he's not the people person like me. He's the be in front of people, but not be close to people.
Okay.
But he gave me a book and it was called The Gospel Comes with a House Key. And it
Oh,
is the story of a lady that has like opened her home. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. And so anyway, I actually told him, I said, okay, I read the back of the book and it talks about this lady having people in her home. So I'm going to set this book aside. You have about 2 weeks to decide if you want to take it back from me before I read it, because it's going to change my life. And he let me have it. So anyway, we just got to talking about, what did we want for this? What do we feel like God wanted for this? And so we started talking about, and I don't know who said open hand farm, but one of us did. We were like, what kind of farm? Well, we want it to be like giving farm, or, just started throwing out words. And Open Hand Farm came up, and Mark was like, wait a minute, I think there's a Bible verse about that. And so he went to Psalm 145:16, and it says, when you open your hand, you satisfy the hunger and thirst of every living thing. And so I'm like, yeah, I think that's
The
it.
one.
So
Oh,
so
so
that's how
cool.
we got the name.
That is
So
so
and
cool.
it's really funny because I made a sign and hung above our doors that say, Open Hand Farm. And so people think it's a business sometimes instead of a home. And we have like these glass front doors, and then you open them up, and there's like a little foyer and another glass door that you come through to get into the house. And so a lot of times we have like UPS drivers, people like that. We'll be sitting there talking to each other. I'll be standing in the kitchen, which is right inside the door, and Mark will be at the table. And all of a sudden we look up, and there's UPS driver standing in the house, like, hey, I have a package. You're like, oh, okay, thanks. He'll kind of look. He goes, is this a business? I'm like, oh no, this is our home, but you're fine. Don't worry about it. So anyway, it's kind of funny because people just walk in a lot of times.
They must think it's some sort of just like a breezeway or something. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
And we had our mailman was gone for a week, and we had a substitute. And we have a mailbox. Like, you have to like drive by the mailbox, but she would pull up by the front porch and put all of our mail just inside that breezeway every day. And I'd walk in and I'm like, well, how did the mail get there? And then one day I caught her, and I'm like, what is she doing? She didn't have to do that. And so I tried to catch her, but she was gone. And the next day I didn't catch her. So I never did get a
No,
chance
it's
to
a
tell
thing.
her. But, whatever. So
Well, if you
it's
have
kind of funny.
dogs running around, at least they won't run off with stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's our problem. We had a substitute mail carrier come and sit it on our back door, and we're like, no, our regular guy knows. Just open the back door and stick it in the laundry room, and then because otherwise the dogs will run off with it. Because if it doesn't fit in the mailbox, that's just what they do. Well,
And
now
Jenny, I'm just glad you're here.
okay, good. I'm glad you saw that. I wanted to make sure
Yes,
because she's from your channel, and
yes.
so she may not see everything. But yes, we're so glad you're here. You're not late. You're welcome
No, you're just
anytime.
fine.
And then Roberta came over from your is
Hi,
on your
Roberta.
channel too. So welcome, Roberta. Yes, everyone, hit that thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. And they love your name. They said that's a beautiful name to your
Good.
channel, I'm
Thank
assuming.
you. Thank you. I have found one problem with it. So just so you know, if you go to search it, if you voice search it, you say Open Hand Farm, it opens Hand Farm. It doesn't
Oh,
include open.
good
So
tip.
you have to like type it in. So anyway,
Okay.
I was like, what? Are you kidding me? so,
Okay.
so anyway, if you go searching for me, you have to type it in.
Renee's here listening. She's doing some canning.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, yes, yes. And I think you would like Renee. She's getting ready to open up, and we're going to do a women. Well, I don't think it's just women's, but like a Bible study encouragement group. I think she's going to do that on her page. So,
Nice.
yeah,
I
that
was
might be
thinking
something
just
fun.
yesterday. I wonder if people would be interested in a live Bible study group or something.
Yeah.
So
We'll have to go check out her channel and her community
yes.
tab. There's someone local that wrote a book. And so I ordered the book, and we're going to just encourage
Nice.
each other. And it's the non-denominational and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think that'd be great. I hope
So
I
what is
didn't just
Renee's channel? I'm not
Pike Creek
oh,
Farm.
Pike. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
then
think I
let's
have seen that.
see.
So
Ginger said that she met you through the Last Chance Cook-Off last
yes.
year.
Hi, Ginger. Yes.
Yes. I'm not sure how we met, but I know it was before December,
Yeah, I
and
can't
because I
remember
invited you to
either.
December. So I'm not sure if it was a collaboration or if I think I just ran across your channel and the Justin Rhodes thing popped up. I think
Oh,
that
okay.
was it. I think that's how but I can't say for sure Because if I would have had your address to ask you to Dipsember, you were probably in another collaboration that I was in. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I do a lot of collaborations.
Right.
Oh, here, this comment's for you. Thank you so much
Oh,
for a badge that was sent to you.
you
That
bet.
she sent, so. Any more? I want to make sure I don't have any questions for you. Oh, Wendy came in. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
And I always say this wrong. Marit says yarns and crafts. Excuse me. Welcome in. Oh, here it is. It's a 40-day devotional. I was saying it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway,
Perfect.
I was just talking with her about that today. I'm kind of excited. And that just
Nice.
reminds me of your women's coffee chat. I could just see you. I don't know if you guys do devotionals or anything
We
like that at your
don't.
coffee chat.
We have a lot of, they're all different denominations and a couple non-believers. And people, the believers have said, we should do a devotion or we should have prayer. We should have, I'm like, you know what? God has not laid that on my heart because
Yeah.
I don't want to scare off those
Yeah.
that don't believe in that. And I
Right.
want them to come and just feel the love that they can feel and not feel like they have to put up with, you know, whatever.
Pressured to do
There has
anything.
been one day that I felt very strongly that I needed to have a prayer, and I did. And everybody was fine with that. But God has not laid it on my heart to make it a Christian event. It is just for anybody that wants to come.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. So,
it's
ladies, are we talking about?
It's just open conversation.
So far it's been pretty open. If you have questions, make sure you put them in the side chat. I'm trying to follow along. I do have a few questions that I'm kind of
okay. I'll make this answer really quick. We have a few ladies that, like Sheridan, who I've done if you watched my video on the plague, the anti-plague serum, she did it with me. And she is like so animated. I mean, that does not do her justice, but she always has something new to share or has brought something from the islands to share with the ladies or, you know, whatever. So a lot of times we have a lot that like to garden or like to whatever. So it'll be conversations that we really enjoy. But we have a 92-year-old lady that comes, and she is precious. And last year, she completed a book about her testimonies. And she brought a book with her and wanted a few people to read it. Well, one of the ladies in the group bought a whole box of them and brought them to our ladies' coffee chat and was like, hey, Marilyn, let's have a book signing. So she sat there and signed these books. It was so much fun. And she was just so excited. And she sold all of them. And Allison just let her have the money for it, you know, whatever. But just things like that. It's just living life together. And if somebody comes and has a problem or an issue, they might share it and they might get ideas or whatever. It's just every day it's different. So
that is awesome. I love it. So we've talked about who you are, why you started YouTube, how you got your name. I think you touched base on how long you've been doing YouTube, and we probably kind of talked about it, but do you have certain goals that you hope to reach through doing this?
So I will tell you that I was considering discontinuing doing YouTube about a month ago.
Okay.
And I said, God, I just don't know. Because let me tell you and I know a lot of you know and understand this, that with so many people in my home, with all the canning, with all the gardening, with the church work, with the coffee, with the family dinner, and then I decided that if I could have a community dinner scheduled once a month, I should be able to have a family dinner scheduled once a month. So all 4 of my kids and all of their spouses and my other 4 grandkids, they all come and we have a family dinner once a month. And all of this stuff, I was just like, you know how hard it is to do a video with screaming kids running through the house and trying to edit when my grandson loves to listen to music and sing and dance. So they turn the
Oh,
music on and I'm just like, I'm trying to edit a video here. And it's like, am I spending time on my YouTube when I should be spending it somewhere else? So I
I
said,
think we
God,
all have that.
I'm going to put up this next video. And it was my Every Bit Counts Challenge video. And I'm going to let you tell me if I need to continue this or not. And you guys, I had been getting anywhere like 100, maybe 150 views on a video within 3 or 4 days. I got 5,300 views on that video. I was like,
Okay.
okay, God.
I hear you.
Okay. And I was like, that's the only reason. I mean, I just can't. That it has to be. So, and my next video, I got 3,000 something, and my next one was over 1,000. And I'm just like, okay, I'm staying in it. I'm in for the long haul. So honestly, my goal is to do 2 videos a week without going crazy and to make it something that is encouraging and something that will teach or encourage to learn or whatever for my viewers. Of course, making money would be nice, but that's not really my goal. I just want to reach people because that's my heart. So anyway, that's my goal, just to keep surviving and doing
I love it.
what I feel like God wants me to do.
I love it. So we've got a few side chats here that I think we should address.
Yes,
Someone
Manny,
suggested
that's a
maybe
great
getting
idea.
you some noise canceling headphones, which I have a pair, and sometimes I get so into things I forget that, like, if someone calls me and I answer, that they can still hear the background noise, but I can't. So fair warning.
Yes.
You will forget.
I love it.
Oh. And then we have a question about canning, and she's from your channel, so I'm going to let you give an answer,
Oh,
and then I
okay.
can give an answer, and then she can have a couple to go off of, okay?
Oh,
So I'll read
celery.
the
Okay,
question out loud.
so I have never canned celery. I have dehydrated it, and I love it that way because I chop it up and then dehydrate it. So I just fill a jar with all this little dehydrated. And when I make soup or whatever, I don't even rehydrate it really. I just throw it in, like if I'm starting a soup base and I have butter and little carrots chopped up and onions, I just throw it in there and it picks up the flavor of the butter and stuff. And then when it's really in the soup, it will rehydrate. But that's the only thing I've really done with celery, but I love it that way. So I
Jenny,
hope that helps.
I'll go ahead and give you my opinion too. That way you have a couple people to bounce off of, because that's what we're all here for, right?
Yes.
To learn from each other. So anytime you have any questions about canning anything, I would go to like the USDA Guide to Safely Canning, and you'll find out whether or not you can or can't can something, and if you can, how to do it, whether it's water bath, pressure canned, the times and elevations, for that particular product. So that's where I first send people. Now, as far as personally, the only way I have canned celery is in an approved recipe. To do celery by itself, I have not done. I have tried dehydrating it and I've tried freeze drying it. And honestly, I'm not a fan. And that's why my Tuesday video, I actually turned it all into celery salt because
That's
I
a
have
good idea.
not liked reconstituting it, but it may have been how I did the process. So my question to you, Penny, is did you blanch it before you dehydrated it, or did you
I
dehydrate
did
it raw?
not.
Okay, I didn't
I
either.
just cut it up
Okay.
and dehydrated it. I did, like, if it were the outside stalks that have a thicker string on them, I kind of go to the base and kind of take my knife and kind of pull
it
those
off.
strings off, and then
That's the
just
part I
sliced
don't
it
like.
into a little, little slivers, and then chopped it down So they're really tiny. So I don't reconstitute. I just throw it in, simmer it up with whatever, and then the soup works on reconstituting it. But it tastes like, I mean, it just tastes like normal celery to me.
Okay, that's great. And I like the tip about pulling that like spine or whatever you would call it off, because that's the part that kind of gets me when I go to rehydrate it.
Yeah.
And so finer chopped is a good plan then. But I will tell you also, Jenny, I have frozen it and used it, and it works really well too.
Oh,
I like a dice better than a big chunk, but you know what? Experiment and see what you like.
Yeah,
And
do a little
what I always
bit
tell
each
people.
way or whatever. That'd be great.
Yeah, see what's your favorite.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question. Jamie says that she's been on YouTube since 2016 and that she actually has 2 channels. Jamie, you're going to have to tell me what your second channel is. I don't remember. Oh, someone else asked that same thing. Roberta said that she dehydrates or freezes her celery. So there's another person that's frozen celery and is okay with it. Let's see. Oh, she's got a hunting channel. Timber Hill Outdoors. Okay.
With coonhounds.
Okay. She likes to use it for soups and dressings and casseroles. I think you'd be fine dehydrating or freezing. Like Penny suggested, maybe you try both and see what you like better.
Yeah.
Just seeing if we have any more questions. Okay, no more questions as of right now. So keep them coming. If you have questions, make sure that you ask us, because I think we're both talkers and like to visit. So
I don't know if I answered. You might have asked a couple questions, and I don't think I answered all.
Oh, is that so? Did I squirrel off sometimes too. So if you think of what it was, let me know. I didn't certainly didn't mean to interrupt by any means. I think we talked about your goals, and you really your goals
that's
are
right.
Yeah.
And I did. Okay.
Yeah. And so that kind of leads me into the last thing that I really had on my mind that I thought I would talk about today. And that was how I got brought back again to your channel. I mean, it seems like I kind of come and go with a lot of my YouTube friends. It's not intentional.
No, not at all.
It's just where we are in our life. You know, sometimes I have more time to watch things, and sometimes, you know, your video pops up and it's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen that person in a while.
Absolutely.
So that happened to me with the Every Bit Counts challenge. So you pop back up, and then I got sucked in, and it was like I was waiting for those videos to come out. Did you do them weekly? I think you did them weekly. Yes. And so I think I was looking forward to every week getting that video, and I did the same thing. Your numbers were a lot better than mine were. Mine were a good number, but I started late on the Every Bit Counts challenge. But I did what you did and stuck with the just once a week overview of what I did. I liked that. But wow, I got so excited that in between I had to go watch last year's, because you did it last year too, right?
Yes. So the year before, when I didn't have a channel, I caught Jessica doing it at the end of August. And I was like, what? I could have been doing this challenge with this lady all month. You know, not like it has to be in August, but in my mind, I needed to do it with her in August. So I'm like, okay, next year. So I scrolled over in my calendar a year away and wrote down Every Bit Counts challenge so that I wouldn't forget it. And so I was like, oh, this is it. We're going to do it. And of course, by then I'm doing videos. I'm like, this is awesome. And it was so much fun, But I did learn a lot that first year. And like I did I don't know if you watched the challenge video, my challenges with the Every Bit Counts challenge.
Yes, I did.
But I was like, I should have planned better here. I should have planned better there. But I thought I was really prepared to do it this year. But I still had issues.
Found it a learning curve, right?
Yes.
But
although I did plant my garden in order to be able to
Yeah.
do this challenge, which really worked well for me. So
And so even this fall, you're probably thinking about now next spring how I want to plan it
absolutely.
out.
My
Yeah.
husband and I were out there yesterday. It was like, okay, we need to increase this by 20 feet and we need to increase this by, whatever. And I want to put this here and I don't want to have to buy this next year. I want to grow it and, whatever. So yeah, we're working on it.
I loved your book where you actually were writing down everything you brought. I was like, I'm going to do that because
And
I'm
it's so
hoping to get back into
simple.
growing again because I
Yes.
haven't had a garden in forever. This is the first year I've actually grown tomatoes and peppers,
Hmm.
and they're just pots in front of my little farm
Hey,
stand, but it is
yeah,
something. I just had to let my garden go because my
right.
animal area grew, and you can only focus your time in so many
Oh,
places.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so I'm excited to, maybe bring in a few more pots next year. And I'm already kind of
Yes.
thinking about how I want to do that because even
Right.
though it's, 8 tomato or 7 tomato plants or whatever, how much, I can bring in. That's still
Yeah,
important. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So she's talking about I started weighing my harvest this year because if you would ask me, how's your garden done? I was like, I don't it wasn't good. We didn't get anything really. And so this year I'm like, I'm just gonna see so that I know. And even last month, I was like, when I started the video, I'm like, the tomatoes, yeah, they're just like not good. The month, I'm not gonna have any this month and whatever. And so I hadn't gone through anything before I did this video. So I'm learning while you're learning. And I had 111 pounds of tomatoes that month. And I said, there aren't going to be very many. It's not, I
Yeah.
didn't get very many at all. It's like 111 pounds. So
Unreal.
anyway, it just floored me to see what I was harvesting because I didn't think I was doing anything. I mean, you watch videos where people are like, oh, and I just watched one. I can't remember the name of it, but she was like, we're going to harvest our pumpkins and our potatoes. And she goes, we had 365 pounds of potatoes. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We had 40. And I was so thrilled
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
hadn't had that many before,
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, you can't compare like you and your pots. You could say, how many did I get from 2 pots? And then be like, well, if I added a pot, then I could get, this many.
Yeah.
It just helps I should plant this many or I didn't need to plant that many. Why did I plant that many? So yeah, it's really been a good learning
Yes.
tool.
Yes, for sure. I used to get real excited about my garden and write notes, but never to that extent. I never thought to do that. And how smart is that? Because then you can also take notes of what the weather conditions were like.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so if 2 years from now you only get 111 pounds of tomatoes in the whole season, you can be like, but that year I got that many in 1 month. What did I do wrong? Maybe it wasn't
Yes.
you. Maybe it was the
Right.
weather.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Or did disease hit, did you get blight
Yes.
or something like that? So,
Or did the squash bugs come early?
yeah. Yeah, those squash bugs. I don't even try growing squash in the spring anymore. I found that they're just a sacrifice,
Yes,
and
they
you wait
are.
and you plant them in the fall because
Yes. It's
that
crazy.
yeah, it's awful. Um I want to make sure before I scroll down any further, Jenny wanted to share that she got a good deal on some cheese stuffed hot dogs, froze them in a gallon bags of water, and they actually turned out really good.
Oh,
Very interesting.
what a cool way to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Bev made it in. Hello, Bev. I know you're not saying hi to me, but hello. Oh, and you said hello to Leanne, so that means that Mennonite Farmhouse snuck in. I didn't get a hello there. Anyone else in here? I try to say hi as everyone comes in, but
Yeah.
forgive me if I don't. So, oh yeah, so here we go. Journaling is great for gardens. So, yeah, it has been really
Bye,
fun
Nanny.
watching you.
Nanny has to hop off, so she was saying
Oh,
thanks.
bye, Nanny Tam. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. She and I have great conversations in my she leaves comments on my videos and
Oh,
we
nice.
we
I
get good
love it. I
conversation
love it
going.
when you guys leave comments. I learn so much.
I
And
know.
when you say that I've been encouraging, that means I'm doing my job. So I'm just thrilled that I can do what I set out to do because I
Well, and
do care.
I don't remember which video it was. It might have been the onion one. I don't remember. But it was one of the videos recently where you said, "Thank you guys for being here. You don't understand how you being here helps me to think things
Yes,
out in a different way."
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it is so true. And then when they make
yes.
comments on top of it,
Oh, yeah.
it's awesome
I
because
love it.
you'd be like, "Oh, well, I would have never thought to put my hot dogs in the freezer like this or that
Yeah.
or whatever," you know? And so, yeah, we could definitely just because we have a YouTube channel and we're telling you what we're doing doesn't mean we don't
Oh,
have room to grow.
oh, heavens
So,
no. I've
yeah.
got so much room to grow.
Oh my yes. Exactly. It's all a learning process for all of us, and they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I learn something new every day. You know what,
Oh,
Jenny?
I love that.
My mama is a teacher or retired teacher, and
Uh-huh.
she said, "I hope that I learn something new every day
Absolutely. I
until I
say the same
die, like
thing.
every day of my life."
My mom will say, "You need to stop. You need to sit down and rest. You need to quit working so hard." I'm like, "Why? What would I do if I sat down?" I said, "I want to learn something new today. All the time, I want to learn something new."
Yeah,
So,
I love it. So we've mentioned the pantyhose, so I should probably bring that up. So if no one is familiar with her video, you have got to go see her video on how she stores these onions that she bought in bulk. It is the coolest thing, and I like how you showed us the way you're gonna do it, but then you also said some people do it like this. And
right.
so I thought that was really neat. But
Those
I'll
those were my mother-in-laws,
yes.
and she actually lived here and passed away here 3 years ago. So, but she was an amazing woman, and I know I kind of joke about her a little bit in the video, but we miss her so much. She was
Oh, I
amazing.
bet.
So,
I do wanna ask you though, did you save the top part and use it as a tummy tucker?
are you kidding? That woman was so tiny. There's no way it might fit on one of my legs. I don't know.
I thought that was funny how you said said that, but, if you really wanted.
Yes, yes.
Because
So
they
if
did look
anybody
like
needs
good
it,
ones.
you let me know. I'll mail it to you.
There you
I
go.
still got
There
it.
you go. Oh. Uh-oh. Leanne got the blade to the
Oh,
chopper.
girl,
Oh, dear.
dear. That I've had the mandolin take the top off of 3 of my fingers,
Yes.
and I just wrapped it up. I was cooking dinner for my family, and I just, like, wrapped it with Coban, and it was bleeding through, and I wrapped it again, and one of my daughters comes in, she goes, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "Well, I kinda cut the tops of my fingers, like, off of the mandolin." She goes, "What?" I'm
But
like,
don't worry, I'll
"I
get
gotta
supper.
finish dinner." She goes, "Mom, you're going to urgent care." And the doctor was just, like, enthralled by it. He goes, "Oh, oh," and he's, like, squeezing them. It's like, "Well, maybe
You're like,
if
"Stop."
I did this maybe if I put a stitch on this side and this side, and I kinda draw
Oh.
it together as best as I can." And I'm like, "Whatever, just do it." And so he does that, and he goes, "I want you to come back in 2 weeks when I'm here. I wanna see it." I was like, "Okay, great." So he sees me the next time, he goes, "I meant to ask you, I was telling my wife about your fingers." And she said, "Did you give her a pain shot or something to handle those like that?" He goes, "No, I didn't even ask her." He goes, "Did you take pain pills before you came?" I was like, "No."
Oh
And he
my
goes, "I am so sorry." I was like, "It is what it is." So,
You just thought, "Well, okay, you know
well,
best."
just do what you gotta do. I gotta get home and finish dinner.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
man.
my heart goes out to you.
Oh, Leanne, I hope she said the bleeding is starting to get under control, just waiting on a bandage.
Oh, do you have any
Oh,
yarrow in your yard? Go get some yarrow and crunch it up and put on it.
okay. Good tip.
Yes, I keep a jar of dried powdered yarrow, and you can just shove it on and in the
Oh,
wound. It'll stop the bleeding.
I did not know that. That is
Yeah,
so cool. So do you grow lots of herbs and things in
I
addition?
do. I do.
Yeah,
I
that is
love it. That's
awesome.
really like I love it, but over the past 4 months or so, I just haven't had time. Like I have lots of things. I used to make salves and tinctures and whatever, and I still use them. But oh yes, that's what you need is the wild yarrow. So if you just get it and like put it in your, if you're wrapping it with something, wrap it in there with it, and that should help. Um, but anyway, I have a space downstairs that is going to be my apothecary, and I just haven't had time to put it all together. I've been so busy. So one of my videos coming up will be showing all of my herbs and apothecary and what I want to do there. I want to be able to have classes here to
Oh, that
make
would be
salves and stuff
cool.
like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You are very, very ambitious lady. I tell you what, we have learned
I
so
just
much
want to
from
keep
you
learning and
today.
knowing and doing. And
Hello,
I'm
Lulu.
not
Welcome
brilliant
in.
in any of it. So you don't have to be brilliant in any of it. I have a dear friend, Stacy, and she's in one of my videos, a couple of my videos, and she taught me so much. She is an herbalist, but she moved away and I miss her so much.
Oh,
So anyway, I really would like to find an online course or something to take, but I just haven't had time.
I wonder why.
If any of you have extra hours in your day that you're just like sitting and watching TV, ship them my way because I will use them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, we have under just, right around the 5-minute mark here. I can't believe this hour has gone by so quickly. But what I would like to do is give you guys the opportunity to ask any last questions to Penny or myself that you have for today. And then I want to tell you about someone else pretty special. Her name's Michelle. Her husband's name's JJ. You all might know them as Big Valley Living, and they go on live next. So they're over there getting ready for their live. They've been gone for a couple weeks. They've been busy working on stuff at their place, and I'm sure they've got great things to talk to you guys about. So don't forget to love raid over to Big Valley Living. And if you're still in here, Joey, I saw you a second ago, you were, would you mind to put the link to either their live or their channel or something? I don't dare try to do that at this point because I might be able to, sometimes I have a banner that will give, I don't dare. I don't dare do it and mess up what we've got going on here. But anyway, I always ask that when you say goodbye here, that you go say hello, even just for a quick thumbs up on their channel and a hello love raid from Penny and Angela. So I
Yes.
always like to say that too. And yeah, if you haven't already, like Leanne said, as you exit, go ahead and remember to smash that like button. It really does help myself and Penny out on our channels when you do that. And here is the link that you guys can go to here when we're done. But do we have any last minute questions? Extra time. I'm sitting here tying flies while I listen to this. You know what? That's what I like to do too, Xander.
Me too.
I listen to my friends either on a live or watch their video. The other day, Penny and I, it's so funny because we were setting up for this live. And so we decided to just do a phone call. And here I was literally watching one of her videos while I was setting and cutting stuff to go into the freeze dryer. So that's the best way to spend my time. I hardly ever watch TV or
I
movie
know, me
channels or
either.
anything.
Never.
I'd rather just watch my YouTube friends. And
Yes.
so, yeah,
Yes.
I've been busy with that. But yeah, it was pretty funny that here she is in the background on my TV and I'm talking to her on the phone. So that
Oh,
was a lot of fun.
Well, I really appreciate you having me here. And thank you all for listening in.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
you must be getting rain, Lulu.
hey, send the rain our way.
Yeah, no kidding. We were just talking about that earlier. You were saying that she was wanting to go work in the garden, but the ground is too hard to
Oh,
work on the
it's so
project she
hard.
wanted to do. So, yep, I agree. YouTube, there's so many fun, neat things out there
Oh, yeah.
nowadays. So, yeah. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I just want to thank each and every one of you in the side chat that are here live. And again, a thank you to anyone who watches the replay and made it all the way to the end. If you're listening to the podcast, thanks so much. And you guys, I am working on my guest for next week. So you'll just have to stay tuned and be watching on my community tab. Well, Jenny, hopefully you can find one local to you, and because it's great to have those kind of things. She's looking for a group meeting, so
I have to tell you, Jenny, the first thing we did when we moved here is we put a ramp in because I didn't want anybody to feel like they couldn't come. So I hope you find a place.
Yeah, maybe check with your library. A lot of times libraries are very
Yeah.
wheelchair accessible, and our local library has all sorts of programs. Like right now they have a grant where they're doing crafts once a week with adults and children. It's awesome. We have like quilting group where you don't have to quilt, but you can go talk about it or
Yes.
whatever. So maybe start with your
Good
local
idea.
library and they could lead you somewhere else. All right.
Yes.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I sure appreciate you all. Have a great evening.
Bye. Thanks for having me.